One, two, three.
Welcome to Life with the Fields.
Welcome everyone to Tech Talk on the Life with the Fields YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about an amazing camera that I hardly hear anybody ever talk about, and that is the Sony a6100. This is the upgrade to the famous Sony a6000 camera that was released back in 2014. The Sony a6000 was loved by so many consumers as it was a budget alternative to the Canon Rebel series and Nikon D3000 series that have served the lower end of the camera market community for a very long time. This camera doesn't quite receive the same love as its predecessor did, and here's why I think why. Well, number one, I would say is we are living in a camera world that is going crazy over full frame mirrorless cameras. And though I would say they are great and they are excellent tool to have, I have the Sony a7 III myself, but I would say there is still a place for little cameras like this in the market. And I would say that this is the best camera that a entry-level photographer or someone looking to upgrade their photo game or their family photos or their social media content. Also, this camera was announced with the flagship, the Sony a6600, back last year around September of 2019, and so it really didn't get a whole lot of attention. The Sony a6600 stole the show with its upgraded in-body image stabilization. The color picture profiles that came along with it is upgraded battery that gave it longer battery life that most people really complained about on the Sony a6000 series cameras. And so Sony listened, and on their flagship camera, they upgraded the battery to give it longer lasting battery life. But I would say if you're not somebody that is looking for a professional video quality camera and somebody that just wants to get high-end video, high-end photos and photography, this camera will do the job. This camera is a 24 megapixel sensor, which is the same sensor that is in all the Sony a6000 cameras, and it is the same megapixel count that is in their Sony a7000 series full frame cameras. This camera will give you the same image quality as all the other Sony a6000 cameras. So you would not be able to distinguish the difference between the photos between the 6400 and 66 and 6500. They all have the same megapixel sensor. You will notice maybe a slight difference in the ISO performance between the older cameras and the newer a6000 cameras, and this being a newer a6000 camera, I would say that this has improved performance in the high ISO department and in low light. It is a great camera to take pictures of your family, great camera to take videos. The only difference between this one and the professional high-end APS-C cameras being the a6400 and a65 and a6600 cameras is that this camera does not have the color picture profiles as those cameras do for color grading. But people who are just getting into the photography and videography landscape, I'm pretty sure they're not looking to really do any heavy color grades. I know myself, when I first got into videography, I didn't want to get into any of the heavy color grading. Now that I have grown as a videographer, I'm recognizing that there are certain needs that I have, but I also have a Sony a7 III that is able to accommodate those needs. And so this camera here, we use about 60 to 70% of the time for family videos, our vlogs, taking pictures, and it's a great second body to use on weddings. We've used this as a second body at a few weddings since we've had it, and it has worked tremendously, and the photos aren't that much different as far as the image quality when it comes between the full frame a7 III and this camera here. You'll just notice a slight difference in the background blur or the bokeh as many people say. But other than that, it gives great image quality as far as stills go. It's a great video camera. It's got decent battery life. I would recommend picking up 2 or 3 batteries that you can get on Amazon for cheap. I'll put some descriptions down below of some batteries that I have that work well for this camera here. And as long as you have extra batteries and you study the art of photography. That's a big thing. Study the art of photography. Study the art of videography. You know, anybody can just click the button and a picture will come out. But how you can get the best out of this camera is when you actually study the art, the details behind what it means to take a picture and also to create great content as far as video is concerned. So to wrap this video up, my final thoughts: for the price of $849 with the kit lens, the 16 to 50 kit lens that you can find at your local store, like our local camera store here in Indianapolis is Robert's Camera. If you haven't been on Robert's Camera website or stopped by the Robert's Camera local stores, then I suggest that you do so, or even at your local Best Buy, wherever you are, you can find this camera. And for the price of $849 with a kit lens, you can't beat it. And so my final thoughts is this is most definitely a great camera to invest in. So until next time, this is Barry Fields with Tech Talk on the Life with the Fields YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe for future content and updates, and also for vlogs and other things that we do on this channel that will give you an opportunity to be able to see what this camera can do and other gear that we have. And you also can follow us on our social media accounts, Facebook and Instagram at Life with the Fields. All right, see you later. Till next time.